Is expected to relax some of its COVID-19 restrictions very soon, just as kids start heading back to school. COVID testing and social distancing recommendations will probably be eased. That's according to draft documents obtained by CBS News.
CBS 3 Health reporter Stahl joins us with details on the new guidelines that are expected, as well with some local reaction.
Lots of reaction to this one. You know, each school district sets its own COVID safety policies and restrictions based on recommendations from federal and state health officials. And many have removed most requirements, like mandatory masking.
In weeks, empty classrooms and hallways will be filled with students.
We've done our back-to-school shopping.
Farrah Wynn and her 8-year-old daughter Sienna, who live in Drexel Hill, are ready for the new school year, but staying cautious about COVID.
I think that anything to keep our kids safe is good.
But COVID safety precautions in schools are expected to be scaled back. The CDC is planning to streamline many of its recommendations, according to a draft document obtained by CBS News. The changes would allow schools to relax social distancing measures, which have already been effectively phased out by the CDC. They're also expected to de-emphasize so-called test-to-stay strategies, where students exposed to the virus take regular tests to stay in the classroom.
So the test-to-stay strategies, we've turned over a lot of infections that were asymptomatic and forced kids out of the classroom. I think they can lift those things at this point, and that seems to be where CDC is heading.
Another potential update, those exposed to COVID would no longer need to quarantine, vaccinated or not. Instead, the recommendation would be to mask for 10 days and test 5 days after exposure.
I don't think it's necessarily a mistake.
Jim Easley and his son, registering for school in Upper Darby, are keeping their masks on, regardless of the recommendations.
Because you will be safe, and we want to get sick from COVID.
And part of the CDC's reasoning in lifting the quarantine recommendation for anyone exposed to the virus is the increase in people who have COVID antibodies now. Coming up at 5 and 6, I will have reaction from a big school district in Delaware County, getting ready for the kids. And of course, anybody who wants to wear a mask, feels safer, is absolutely allowed to do that.
It's your choice.
Your choice.
300%.
Thank you, Steph. Well, a new report.